Before an attempted sexual assault, kidnapping, or robbery attack happens, it's important to have a reaction plan, says self-defense instructor Sylvia Mendeville.
It really just depends on what the environment is and knowing how to assess the situation and act accordingly.
Rule number 1, stay alert.
Someone might think of you as an easy target because you're not paying attention.
2, if someone tries to attack you while you're getting into your car, react quickly. Raise your hand and spin around.
To be able to have your weapons accessible to you and knowing how to fire them as quickly and as powerfully as you can.
3, if your attacker is able to put you in the car, spin yourself around. Use your legs to kick your attacker out of the way.
You're fighting until you're able to have an opportunity to get out.
She has no blood, no air.
Choking is a common attack on women, says Mendeville. Fight technique 4, turn around and face your attacker. Find vulnerable targets like the face, eyes, throat, and groin.
Being loud, being aggressive, being hard to hold, all of those things just come back to that.
5, if the attacker uses a bear hug to try and take you, make yourself dead weight and give him a back kick to the groin. Wrap your foot around his leg to make it harder for him to walk quickly and continue to kick. Remember, there are no rules when your life is on the line, but some sort of training can help you prepare mentally and physically to execute your getaway.
My first name is Rhiannon, last name is Anderson.
Fresh out of the academy, the mother of 5 is adjusting to leaving behind her stay-at-home mom title to San Antonio probationary police officer.
I wouldn't say I've necessarily left the apron at home. I was almost late today because I was handling some things at home as mom.
A balance every working mom knows. With the support of her husband and kids, the 38-year-old is embarking on her desire of helping others.
It just felt right, like it feels like where I need to be and what I need to be doing.
We followed her on a theft call.
Do we take that and book it into evidence?
There's a lot to learn, but she's feeling confident. After more than 8 weeks on the field, she's discovered her mom skills are handy on this job.
Sometimes I'll joke and say that I spent the first 17 years in corrections, but my family doesn't like it when I call it that.
The job requires patience and tough love.
I think a lot of police work is customer service and caring about other people. And some of it isn't, some of it is tough customer service.
Because of her age and life experiences, she feels she can connect.
I understand what it's like to be married. I understand what it's like to have kids. I understand what it's like to have kids that don't want to listen. I understand all of those things because I've been through a lot of it.
Her own personal domestic violence survival story gets victims to open up.
I know what it's like to be in a situation that you shouldn't be in.
But getting to this point in her life wasn't easy. Her family got her through the hardest parts.
I remember leaving and going to my car and just thinking, like, can I really do this?
Now she wants to tell her daughters and other women, yes, you can.
But I feel like if I can do this, then other people can too.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
It was just a regular rap show. That's all it was. And I just came there to support my friend, and chaos broke loose.
17-year-old Jacob Flores was attending an all-ages concert at the Ventura last night when he says he witnessed a group of people getting aggressive with each other.
It looked like they had like an angry look on their face for some reason. And then like suddenly they went into like the back behind the crowd, and then you just heard gunshots and everybody ran out the venue.
San Antonio police say those gunshots came from a weapon that was in the hands of 19-year-old Kiernan Williams.
He told me he was gonna kill me. Why? He told me because I bumped into him, he was gonna kill me.
It blew my mind because I didn't think something like that would happen in that small of a place.
Flores made it out safely, but seeing the bodies haunts him. His mother was shocked when she received the call about the shooting.
The scary part about it is that a lot of families can't even go to the movies, go to church to worship.
Go to school.
Anywhere you go now, you have that in the back of your mind, what if?
Flores' mother says she is fed up with the gun violence.
They're not stopping and thinking about the consequences of the long term. It's in the moment. How am I feeling at this moment? And they're using their emotions and they're acting on that rather than common sense.
She says after the shooting, she will be more vigilant of her son's whereabouts. She also says as she prays for the families of the lives lost, she hopes Williams learns a lesson.
That in that one moment of his anger, that he lost control, he changed some people's lives for the rest of their life in a very bad way. So he really needs to think about the effect that what he did had on these families.
On the cool, I regret everything that I did.
It's something that no one should have to experience.
Ray Garcia watched Jesus Aguilar Jr. die.
As he drew his last breath. You know, I stood there, it was just me and him, no one else. No one else.
Aguilar and his 14-year-old daughter were killed just 30 minutes into the new year when a truck struck his minivan as he was backing out of the driveway. The van exploded. 2 other children inside were burned but rescued. The driver accused of hitting the van was eventually arrested and charged.
No one can ever be prepared for anything like that.
The raw scene he and more than 20 others saw and heard as they ran in to help is too graphic to share or even try to put into words.
You know, it's hard as adults for us to try and deal with it. You know, imagine for little kids. You know, it's difficult.
We need to make sure that we're available all the time.
Mary Beth Fisk with the Ecumenical Center says traumatic experiences can have a lasting impact on one's health.
It's important to talk about it, but in a safe way.
Sadness, overeating, nightmares, just some of the signs victims and witnesses can experience after an event. It can happen right away or after some time.
We don't want to suppress that information. It will cause many physiologic responses. Such as depression, headaches, even physical ailments that are associated sometimes with grief.
The Ecumenical Center is a nonprofit counseling center that offers low-cost or free services for those impacted by a crime. She says it takes courage to call and admit you need help.
We got to keep going.
Garcia says he's trying to find a way to deal with his emotions.
The memories are still there. I mean, it's not easy to put away.